This calf gets carried away by the current while trying to cross a river. He would have been doomed if not for this brave guy. The dog simply stops breathing while on a walk. His owner is certain that her pet is already gone, but this random passerby decides to try to resuscitate him.
Calm yourself down for her.
Apparently, I need to sign up for a first aid course right away. This poor cat froze to the ice right next to a walking path, and only these two women answered her cries for help. She's gonna be just fine now. Look at how this woman is trying to return a lost baby koala to its mama. These are the moments that restore your faith in humanity. This woman isn't taking on these waves for fun. Her dog got swept into the water during a storm. It was only on the second attempt that the owner was able to reach him. This cat pays a high price for leaving the safety of its yard. It's awful to think about what could have come of it had this man not come to the rescue. A poor fox spent days trying to get out of an icy canal. Upon seeing some humans, it begs for its life. They try to help it climb out on its own, but end up having to save it with their own hands. A tiny baby dolphin accidentally swims into a dead end and throws itself ashore out of desperation. But thankfully, this woman notices. She decides to take it to the sea in hopes that it'll find its way home. Come on, little guy, swim to your mother and don't lose her again. This man is horrified because his dog is still inside the burning car. A policeman immediately begins searching for the dog, whose time is running out.
Oh my God! Where's it at? Come on, man! Hank!
Just getting it out of the car turned out to be even more difficult than they were expecting. Car, but you can never buy a new best friend. Fox cub decides to help itself to some dog food, but instead gets its head stuck in a jar. Lucky for this fox, it stumbled into this particular person's yard.
There we go.
And now it looks like this little cub belongs to him. Just look at how this dog gets swept away by the current. It takes a whole team of police officers to get it out. But the most difficult part was still ahead of them, urgently resuscitating the dog. This squirrel probably just wanted to play with some fishing line, but it got all tangled up and couldn't get out. To feed her puppies, even after going 5 days without food or water because of a plastic jar stuck on her head. And all of them could have died had these brave guys not intervened. The only reason this donkey is still alive is because of a log it got caught on in a flooded river, and it needed to hold on long enough for these people to carry out a... Someone stumbles across this poor trembling baby that got wedged in a piece of rope. This king cobra got trapped in a fishing net, and thirst would have finished her if she couldn't attract people's attention. So she took a risk, and the people called a snake rescuer who took care of her. If these people hadn't been driving past, no one would have heard their howls for help. These little monkeys are using the last of their strength to cling to a pole for dear life. They definitely would have fallen in if this person hadn't shown up in time. But now they're saved. We don't know why these two elephants suddenly decided to swim across the sea, but one thing is for certain: they would have drowned without human help. The crews of two boats had to get creative to be able to attach ropes and tow the multi-ton animals to shore. This bear cub was abandoned by its mother and spent 6 whole days with a bottle on his head. Its instinct of self-preservation caused it to climb further and further up the tree, but the rescuers weren't giving up either. This young almost an hour in the icy water until their cries were heard by the locals. Luckily, they had heavy equipment to pull the animals out when every minute counted. Worse than a cornered animal, and this man could have paid a heavy price for his attempt to free this cougar. But he couldn't just leave it to be eaten by other predators. This little huge ball of ice frozen to its tail while hunting. Orca got stuck on the rocks at low tide. She was doomed, but rescuers poured water on her for 6 hours so that she wouldn't die from overheating before the tide came in. This dehydrated leopard got its head stuck in a metal vessel, so it just sat in the middle of the road, hoping to receive help from people. Look at how the predator bravely tolerates handling while being rescued. Perhaps that's enough for today. Have you ever helped an animal in need? If so, be sure to tell us about it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video if it inspired you.